Good day, everyone. My name is Joshua Elnoa Swan of Grade 11 Love from the University of Science and Technology of Southern Philippines, Cagayan de Oro City. And today, we are going to tackle all about information disorder and more specifically, the types of fake news. So, for our objectives, by the end of this discussion, you should be able to know what is an information disorder, identify the three types of information disorders, and to be able to identify it from real life situations or examples. So, first off, what is an information disorder? An information disorder is used to describe for ways the information environment can be polluted. If we say polluted, it can mean that the information environment is contaminated with harmful information or misleading content. The most accepted model that is developed by Claire Wardle and Hussein Darakhshan categorizes information disorders into misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation. So, first off, what is misinformation? Misinformation is false or inaccurate information that is shared without intent to harm. The sharer usually believes it is true or does not realize it is incorrect. Misinformation is usually caused by poor understanding of a topic, misleading or misreading or misinterpreting of data, and sharing outdated or incomplete information. So, an example would be that is related to what is currently happening in the Philippines is what I entitled as old stock video. So, the context of this example that I presented is that Super Radio DZBB posted this in April 6 in their Facebook account, which has the words of PBBM, maayos ang kalagayan. Malacanang pinawi ang mga espekulasyon ng may sakit si Pangulong Bongbong Marcos at giniit na maayos itong kalagayan. So it means, or the caption rather, implies that the video is all about the Malacanang Palace canceling all the speculations that Bongbong Marcos has an illness. And they said that he is already in a good condition. So, here's the video of the post.
Pinawin ng Malacanang ang mga espekulasyon na may sakit si Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, DILI Palace Press Officer, President of PCO Undersecretary Claire Castro, maayos niya ang lagay ng Pangulo. Sa katunayan anya, pangungunahan pa ng punong ehekutibo ang oath-taking o panunumpa ng mga vice-alkalde sa Malacanang ngayong hapon. Payo pa niya sa mga mamahayaga, huwag basta maniwala sa mga post sa social media.
So, that is good and all, let's say. But then, people noticed something. People noticed that in the video, a Senate member, which is Enrile, Senator Enrile, appeared on the video. So, Josh, what if Enrile appeared in the video? What is wrong with that? So, by the time that, let's say, the video was taken, which is April 6, 2026, and really, unfortunately, already passed away. So, that led to many speculation that they used old stock photos to fool everyone into believing that Marcos did not really have an illness, and which led to more speculations that led into, let's say, Marcos's death, or even Marcos is just a doppelganger. But what really is true? That the truth meaning behind the video, or let's say the true intent, is that people failed to notice the file videos that is attached into the video that DCBB has posted. We can see in here, it is attached in here below the reporter's name, also in here, and in here. So, the DCBB did not fail to inform us that this video that they are using is not an updated one, but rather it is an old stock video. It is probably to, let's say, use as a background for the report. But then people failed to notice it, and so as one did not notice it, they soon, let's say, nakalap, nakalap na yung false information, and then people posted and reposted until it is taken out of context, and they solely focused on the date that this information is posted. So this is the power of misinformation. These people did not realize that they are posting false information, or they have taken the video out of context, or did not really read the video thoroughly. So that is one example of misinformation. What is actually happening is that PBBM is now in good health. Although PBBM has an illness which is called diverticulitis. Diverticulitis is an inflammation of small pouches that is found in the colon. So that required PBBM to go to diagnosis in the hospital. But then they said that President Bongbong Marcos is already stable or in good health, in good condition. And he even is supposedly going to attend work now. As he has said here, okay na ako, or in English, I'm okay now. So this is a video of what really is happening.
So, para sa mga kababayan nagmamahal sa iyo, sir, kamusta po ang inyong kalusugan?
Ganun pa rin. Yun na lang, I'm struggling kasi ayoko tumaba ulit. Nawala na yung taba ko, baka babalik. So that's what I'm taking care of. But I want to magpapasalamat naman ako sa mga nag-aalala sa akin. Huwag niyo pong masyadong siniseryoso. Alam mo naman ang social media, palabiro yan eh. At wala po tayo dun sa I am back to my regular exercise. I've been back to my regular routine for the last 3 months na ito na patuloy lang aking ginagawa. Doing my usual, watching my health, making sure that I'm always ready to do the work.
So, yung diet niyo, sir,
wala na.
Okay na po?
Wala nang bawal. Matagal nang wala na. More than 1 month na walang bawal. Actually, wala naman talagang bawal. Marami rin suggestion na iwasan mo itong dito, iwasan mo yung masyadong mantigahin. Pero wala na yun. Hindi ko na masyadong iniisip na yun.
So Marcos said that he already didn't have any illness, and he debunks the rumors of his deteriorating health, which is indicated by the caption. So this is one of the examples of misinformation, where a post or a simple report can be, let's say, when one person didn't read it thoroughly and just focus on things that he thinks is much more important, just like the video was posted, or the report was posted, and then correlating it to the video was taken at that moment, but he failed or she failed to see that the video was actually a file video or a stock video that's only used for the representation for that report. And it does not indicate that the video was taken at that exact moment. Next off, the second example of information disorder is disinformation. So, what is disinformation? Disinformation is false information that is deliberately created and spread to deceive or manipulate. Take note, it is deliberately created. So, the difference between disinformation and misinformation is that misinformation, the sharer rather did not know that the information is false and only shared it because he thinks it is true or she thinks it is true, while disinformation is created for the sole purpose to deceive and manipulate. The goal is often to influence opinions, cause confusion, damage reputations, or gain political, financial, or social advantages. And disinformation is the most commonly recognized form of fake news. And the area that disinformation is really common is the political area. So, the example that I've chosen is all about AI deepfake videos. As we all know, AI is becoming more rampant nowadays, and deepfake videos are already spreading all across the social media content platforms, rather. So this one specifically is posted maybe, let's say, satirical or humorical for the purpose of being satire, no? But being satire does not excuse you for being a spreader or a sharer of disinformation. So let's play it.
When bells for us are ringing.
So, as we can see, if we really take a look at the video, we can notice that there are discrepancies, and we can clearly see that this is an AI video. So, we can also further notice that the background of the video, background music rather, uses a humorical video or a sound rather. It is probably for the sole purpose of being humorical and making the video seem more funny. So this is an example of satire or humorical type of video, but it does not excuse you, as just I said earlier, as being a spreader or a creator of this information. So that video wasn't entirely false. What really happened was that the singing by Bato de la Rosa is true, and the running part was also true. So let's see what really happened by the singing part that I'm mentioning.
When bells for us are ringing, our last stop is silent. Generation see our country free.
So, the context behind the video is that Bato de la Rosa, or Senator Bato de la Rosa, sang the PMA hymn to appeal to Mistas, no, for support, so that all about his, let's say, arrest warrant or the warrant that is impending to arrest him. So he is seeking support by seeking support, he signed this hymn, no, as a symbol of asking for support, as I said earlier. So, about the running thing that I have said, this is what really happened. This is
with the permission of everyone here, that we cite these individuals in contempt. So moved, Mr. President.
Is there any objection? If not, the John Does and Jane Does as identified individual are held in contempt.
The Senate has cited in contempt the persons who chased Senator Ronald De La Rosa inside the Senate premises. The unidentified persons were reportedly trying to serve a warrant of arrest, which they say is from the International Criminal Court. Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano ordered that these persons be placed under Senate custody. Even assuming that the serving of the warrant was fully coordinated, Cayetano pointed out that the persons cited in contempt should have approached the senator and negotiated his surrender because they are in Senate premises. For updates, visit...
So the video was by the Manila Times, as we can see here, and it is all about the time when Bato de la Rosa was chased by NBI because he has an impending arrest warrant by the ICC, and then Bato de la Rosa ran to the senatorial court, so that he can't be arrested per se to attend the replacement of the former Supreme Court leader, Senador Tito Soto, being replaced by Alan Peter Cayetano, which is now the new Supreme Court leader. So Bato's vote is actually very crucial at that time. That's why he is attending while risking his, let's say, safety at the time. So, in conclusion, that disinformation part, the deepfake video was not entirely false. The running part and the singing part actually did happen, but it is created in such a way that it was being, let's say, damaging the reputation of that specific someone, in this case, Bato de la Rosa. And yeah, it is created solely for the satire content, because we don't know what is the intent of that video creator, but we know for sure that it's created, it is supposed to be satire by the AI creation and the video or the music background, So even satire videos can actually be considered disinformation. So lastly, the last form or the category of information disorder would be malinformation. So, what is malinformation? Malinformation is true information shared with harmful intent, often taken out of context or used to mislead, embarrass, or damage someone. So, it is a form of false information that most people fail to identify as false information due to them thinking that having sources or the information being a fact automatically makes it correct. So what do I mean by a fact? Most malinformation is real sayings or real happenings that is taken out of context, just like what is being said here. And other people, seeing that it is really happening or it's really have been said, now believe that it is true because, well, for a fact that it's being said, actually being said. So they think that it's that automatically makes it true, even with the wrong context. So one example that I have posted or chose is, I titled it as Trillanes Said That. So the background of what I have posted here is I found it in a post called Duterte Legacy, and it is posted by someone with an alias named Political Toxic. It is read in the caption of the photo or the quote card is, "Sa darating na linggo, kailangang mapalitan na ang SP. Ibalik si Soto. Hindi gagawa ng tama yan si Cayetano," which is supposedly being said by Antonio Trillanes. So, we know that this is not true. And I know for a fact that he did not say it, because I myself, as a confirmation, backtracked it using Google Lens. And it has shown that the photo that has been used did not really is only used for the sole purpose of indicator that makes it that Antonio Trillanes really said such quote. As we can see here, the photo that is being used by that previous quote that they have searched was being used by multiple sites, to being used as their quote card image. And the only video that I have seen that uses it as their thumbnail is this one right here. I also haven't found any videos or posts that records the former senator saying the quote. So, but then I saw this. A post of Bombo Radio CDO, which has the caption of Trillanes, miakusar sa majority bloc sa Senado na nagbugna sa constitutional crisis. Senate President Cayetano gitawag nga hopeless. So, I was interested in what is the context behind this. So I clicked the link and then I was sent here. And what caught my attention is right here in the last, let's say, sentence, which said that gusto ni Trillanes na temporaryo lamang ang change of leadership aron mapabalik ang maayong dagan sa Senado. Iya usabi akusar sa majority bloc sa Senado na nagbugna lamang siya sa constitutional crisis sa Pilipinas. So, Trillanes implied that he hoped rather that the change of the the Supreme Court president was only temporary and he wanted it to be changed. So, further proof, here's a video of showing that he really said.
Ito na lang. I've known Senator Cayetano, hopeless na yan. Talagang doon siya kung saan mali eh. Di ba? So, kung ano what's good for him. Kaya I'm just hoping that this leadership change is temporary. At the soonest time possible, mapalitan na ito para ma-restore yung sanity at dignity ng Senado. Kasi ito yung ginagawa nila, they're creating one constitutional crisis after another para lang maproteksyonan nila yung interest sila. Pero hindi naman tatagal yun.
So, he implied that he hoped that the change was only temporary and want things to go back as the way before, being the Supreme Court leader as Sito Soto and replacing Alan Peter Cayetano as the current Supreme Court leader. So the quote card implied that Trillanes wanted the change as soon as possible, as very early as tomorrow, and he had said that Cayetano doesn't do anything good per se, as what the card has mentioned. But I have not seen any photos or even videos that he said that. So the only closest one that I have seen is this video right here. So it is possible that that quote card is being from this video, and the quote card is so severely taken out of context or rephrased that it is now becoming false, which is a category that belongs to malinformation. So here we can see the effects of that post, where people believed in that post and they all now send hate to Trillanes, which read, let's read some of the comments here. Ikulong na yan si Trillanes, siya lang nagsimula ng gulo sa Pilipinas. Ito yung walang ginagawa, kundi guluhin ang gobyerno. Ha, tapos na kayo. So, they are also sending their hatred toward Trillanes, no? Because probably they side with the opposite party of Trillanes. And as the quote card was posted, other people also reposted that quote card, which led to more people seeing the photo and more people reposting the reposts, which influence a lot of people's opinions and thinking about what really Trillanes said, which is very dangerous. That is the power of media, no? It can be wielded correctly or incorrectly, just like fire. If we use media incorrectly, or not incorrectly, but we don't know how to identify false information from what is true, then we are the ones that is per se poor or kawawa dito, no? So, to conclude my presentation, it is important that we should be able to differentiate the false information from true information and identify the different types of information disorder to be able not be able to be swayed easily by, let's say, false information that is appearing all around us. So if we do that, we will have trust in everybody around us. It's important for, let's say, communication building and trust in others. Yeah, so I arrived at this quote, no? It's by Maria Ressa, the CEO of Rappler, who won a Nobel Peace Prize in 2021. She said, rather, that if you do not have facts, you cannot have truth. And if you do not have truth, you cannot have trust. Without any of these, you cannot have democracy. You cannot have any shared reality at all. And it is impossible to solve any real problems. So solving real problems starts with us, people, by merely or just by sharing what is debunking false information and sharing it for the awareness of all. We greatly contribute to friends that can see our post, and then they will now be, let's say, they can learn something from that post of yours, and then hopefully they will do the same, and then that little action that you've did now creates a domino effect that greatly benefits us people. So that is the end of my presentation. I hope you have learned something new here, and yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the future. Goodbye. Thank you very much for watching.